Stick figure Alex lies curled up in bed. The alarm rings, 6:30 a.m. flashes on the phone screen. Alex groans, reaches out to snooze, and pulls the blanket back over his head. Sound, repetitive alarm tone with a slightly humorous rhythm. Every morning, Alex told himself, tomorrow will be different, but every morning looked the same. Alex unlocks his phone. Notifications flood the screen. Messages, emails, social media. Fast cuts, his fingers scrolling endlessly. The glow from the screen reflects on his tired face. A coffee cup sits nearby, untouched, already cold. Sleepy eyes, endless scrolling. Minutes slip away, 5, 10, 30. Another morning gone, and Alex rushes out the door once again. Alex hurries down the street, shirt half tucked, bag slung across his shoulder, yawning. The city is loud, chaotic. He catches a glimpse of himself in a glass window, tired, unfocused, drained. Day after day, Alex felt more exhausted, less focused, as if life was running ahead and he just couldn't keep up. And one thought kept echoing in his mind: why do I feel so tired, even when I'm doing everything right? Screen fades to black, then slowly brightens with morning sunlight. Alex sits quietly by the window, deep in thought. Then, a small smile forms, a spark of clarity in his eyes. Until one day, Alex decided to change just one thing in his morning routine, and that one change rewired his brain. Alex steps out onto the balcony, takes a deep breath of fresh air. The sunlight glows warmly. On screen, text fades in, the morning routine that changed my brain. After the title, The Morning Routine That Changed My Brain, the screen fades into an animated brain. Neurons appear, slow, sleepy, gently flickering as if they've just woken up. Each morning, your brain is like a system that's just been rebooted. It gets a chance to reset, to clear away yesterday's tension and prepare for a fresh start. Pause. Tone deepens, slightly slower, but most of us waste that moment. Alex reaches for his phone the moment he wakes up. The screen flashes bright, notifications, messages, social media icons popping everywhere. Inside his brain, dopamine bursts light up chaotically. The moment we open our eyes, notifications, messages, and endless feeds flood in. Our brain gets hit with waves of dopamine, short bursts of pleasure that vanish just as fast. Small pause, and at the same time, as we rush to get ready, the stress hormone cortisol spikes. In just the first few minutes of the day, we've already put our brain into a state of stress and distraction. Inside the animated brain, chaos. Neurons firing wildly. The amygdala, emotion center, glows red, while the prefrontal cortex, focus and logic center, dims. Cut to Alex running out the door, bumping into people, stressed and disoriented. When this happens every morning, the brain slowly becomes reactive instead of creative. Instead of leading the day, it just chases whatever comes at it. We start our mornings rushed, unfocused, not calm, not in control. Split screen. On one side, chaotic brain, notifications everywhere. On the other, calm breathing, gentle light, neurons moving in rhythm. But if you use those first few minutes differently, you can reset your entire neural state. It's like pressing the reset button for your brain. Soft tone, reflective. Instead of letting the noise in first, you give your mind a chance to wake up, to breathe, to listen to itself. Alex now sits quietly by the window, holding a cup of coffee. Morning light fills the room. Inside his brain, neurons flow smoothly, balanced, alive. By simply changing how you start your morning, you can train your brain to focus deeper, stay calmer, and feel genuinely alive again. Small pause, music swells warmly. That's why mornings matter more than you think. Close-up of Alex closing his eyes, smiling peacefully. Soft fade to light. On-screen text appears. Morning light seeps through the curtains. Alex opens his eyes, sits up slowly. His phone lies on the table, but this time he doesn't reach for it. That morning, Alex made a decision. No phone, no messages. Just 10 quiet minutes for himself. Alex walks to the window, pulls the curtains wide open. Golden sunlight fills the room. He closes his eyes, takes a deep breath, shoulders relax. A faint smile appears. Sound, birdsong, soft breeze, gentle piano notes. No emails, no notifications, just breathing, sunlight, and silence. Pause, softer tone, and within days the fog in his mind began to lift. Simple brain animation appears. Sunlight enters the eyes, arrows flow to the hypothalamus, the circadian rhythm activates. Glowing dots of serotonin spread throughout the brain. Morning light doesn't just wake up your eyes, it wakes up your brain. It resets your circadian rhythm and triggers the release of serotonin, the chemical that fuels focus, calm, and happiness. Split screen comparison. On one side, past Alex grabbing his phone, blue light shining on his tired face. On the other, new Alex standing in natural light, breathing deeply, calm and alert. When you give your brain just 10 quiet minutes at the start of the day, it shifts into a state of clarity and balance. Natural light, not screen light, programs your internal clock, while steady breathing calms the stress center of your mind. Animated neurons glow and move in harmony, smooth and synchronized. On-screen text appears, light plus stillness, clarity. That's the power of the 10-minute rule. No complexity, no special technique, just light, breath, and stillness. Pause, soft tone. 10 minutes may seem small, but it can transform how your brain works for the rest of the day. Alex pours a cup of coffee, writes a few words in his journal. Sunlight bathes the room, gentle music swells. Cut to brain animation. The prefrontal cortex lights up, glowing with focus and energy. When Alex started his day with 10 minutes of silence, his brain stopped running on chaos. It became clear, centered, and fully awake. Alex smiles, steps outside into bright morning light. On-screen text fades in. Step 1, the 10-minute rule. Light, stillness, clarity. Morning light floods the room. Alex sets down his coffee, rolls his shoulders, stretches his neck, and stands up. No loud music, just soft breathing and the sound of feet touching the floor. After 10 minutes of stillness, Alex took the next step. No gym, no fancy plan, just movement. Alex stretches his arms, bends gently side to side. Energy begins to flow, illustrated by glowing waves moving through his body. Even a few minutes of motion is like a cup of coffee for your neurons. It wakes the body and switches on the mind. Soft background music builds, light percussion, calm but uplifting. Alex steps onto his balcony, takes a few slow breaths, does light push-ups or squats. Inside his head, animated neurons spark to life. Dopamine and BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, spreading across the brain. In just 5 minutes of movement, your body releases dopamine, the chemical of focus and motivation. And at the same time, it produces BDNF, a kind of brain fertilizer that helps neurons grow, connect, and stay strong. Quick on-screen bubble. Fact, movement equals more focus, more creativity, less stress. Split screen. On the left, old Alex slumped over, scrolling endlessly, tired and pale. On the right, new Alex stretching lightly, standing tall, eyes bright, alert. No equipment, no big effort, just a bit of curiosity and a choice to move. Animated brain lights up, movement activates the motor cortex, prefrontal cortex, and hippocampus. Energy flows upward from the body to the brain. Every small motion sends a message to your brain. I'm awake, I'm ready. And your brain responds, good, let's begin. That's the moment your body and mind reconnect, and you truly wake up. Alex walks outside into gentle morning sunlight. He moves freely, relaxed, confident. Cut to glowing neurons, energy pulsing smoothly through synapses. Just a few minutes of movement, but it's the brain's warm-up routine. It turns you from reactive to intentional, from tired to focused, from dull to creative. Alex pauses, inhales deeply, smiles at the rising sun. Screen brightens, text fades in. Step 2, move to wake the mind, 5 minutes. Infinite focus. Morning sunlight spills across the table. Alex sits down with a warm cup of coffee. In front of him, a notebook, a pen, and complete silence. No phone, no notifications, just stillness. After waking his body and mind, Alex turned to the most powerful part of his morning, resetting his mind. Alex opens his notebook, a blank page waiting. He writes 3 simple lines, slow, intentional, thoughtful. Each morning, he wrote 3 things, 1 thing he was grateful for, 1 goal for the day, and 1 word for how he wanted to feel. Close-up of the words forming on paper, grateful for the sunlight. Goal, focus deeply on 1 thing. Feeling, calm. Soft piano plays, the sound of pen on paper feels meditative. Instead of reacting to the day, Alex began designing it. Just 3 lines, but enough to shift his brain's entire rhythm, from survival mode to creation mode. Inside Alex's brain, dark clouds swirl, chaos, stress, scattered thoughts. As he writes, light spreads across neural pathways. The prefrontal cortex and limbic system begin to glow and synchronize. Writing or journaling helps the brain slow down and reorganize thoughts. When you note what you're grateful for, your brain releases dopamine and oxytocin, the chemicals of peace and connection. When you write a goal, your limbic system lights up with motivation. And when you choose a feeling, calm, joy, confidence, your brain begins to align your body toward that emotion. Alex closes his eyes for a moment, smiling. In his mind, gentle scenes appear, working with focus, laughing with friends, walking under soft afternoon light. Each vision glows warm and bright. Sometimes you don't need to control the whole world. You just need to clarify your own mind. A few lines on paper, and you're already rewiring your brain for a better day. The brain glows like a rising sun. Alex closes the notebook, takes a deep breath, and smiles. Music swells softly, sunlight illuminates his face. Text fades in on screen. Step 3, the mind reset. From reaction to creation. Every morning you have a choice to begin in chaos or in clarity. 3 lines and your entire day changes. A calm morning kitchen. Alex opens the fridge. On the counter sit 2 choices, a sugar-glazed donut and a plate of eggs, greens, and a glass of water. He pauses, looks at both, then smiles knowingly. Every morning is a choice. What you feed your body is what you feed your brain. Alex cuts into his breakfast, eggs drizzled with olive oil, fresh fruit on the side. Morning sunlight glows on the glass of water nearby. The brain doesn't run on empty. It needs fuel, not just to survive, but to focus, create, and sustain energy through the day. Inside Alex's brain, an animation shows neurons lighting up as energy flows in. Protein, hydration, and healthy fats appear as bright energy particles feeding the cells. A breakfast rich in protein, proper hydration, and minimal sugar stabilizes your blood sugar, balances dopamine, and keeps your focus steady for hours. Alex lifts a cup of coffee, checks the clock, then gently sets it down. On-screen graphic, plus 90 minutes after waking. And here's a small but powerful secret. Alex started delaying his first coffee by about 90 minutes after waking. That simple shift allowed his natural cortisol rhythm to do its job, waking the body naturally and preventing the crash and spike cycle that drains energy. Animation. Brain energy lines stabilize. Steady, glowing, balanced. Alex works calmly, focused, relaxed, a quiet smile on his face. His cup of coffee now rests beside him, timed perfectly. When you respect your body's rhythm, you stop fighting your mornings and start mastering them. Slow motion. Alex enjoys his breakfast in golden morning light. The room feels peaceful, alive, centered. On-screen text fades in. Step 4, fuel for focus. Feed the brain. Master the day. When you care for your brain, it cares for everything else. Fuel your mind and you'll master your day. Inside a soft morning montage, Alex repeats his new routine day after day. Waking up early, opening the window, stretching, journaling, eating mindfully. Each morning grows brighter, his smile too. After 2 weeks, something changed. Alex didn't just feel better, he thought better. Animated brain, neural pathways glowing and growing stronger, cross-cut with real scenes. Alex focused at work, laughing with others, walking with confidence. His brain was rewiring itself, and old patterns of fatigue and distraction began to fade, replaced by new connections. Brighter, faster, alive. Alex stands before a mirror, tall posture, calm eyes, cut to a faded image of his past self, tired, restless, disconnected. The 2 versions overlap, a before and after of the same man. Alex realized he no longer waited for motivation, he created it, each morning through small, repeated actions. Rhythmic montage. Alex writing in his journal, walking, working with focus, smiling with purpose. Each moment flows like a heartbeat, steady, grounded. Because habits aren't about willpower, they're about identity. When you act like the person you want to become, your brain starts to believe it, and soon, you are that person. Inside the brain, glowing neural networks interconnect, pulsing steadily. Then Alex gazes out the morning window, sunlight tracing the side of his face. Peaceful, confident. Real change doesn't come from grand moments. It comes from the quiet repetition of small choices every single day. We don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our routines. On-screen quote, "You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your routines." Alex steps outside in the morning light, calm and centered. The camera follows him slowly as he walks through golden sunlight, peaceful, alive. Each morning, he wasn't just waking up to start a new day, he was waking up to become a new version of himself. And when habits turn into identity, each day stops being a repeat and becomes a transformation of the mind. Music swells, bright, hopeful tones, scene fades into light. A quiet morning, soft sunlight streams through the window, touching Alex's face. He sits by the window with a cup of coffee, still, calm, at peace. The world outside moves slowly. Only breath, light, and silence remain. After everything, Alex realized the most powerful morning routine wasn't about perfection. Slow flashbacks. Alex from the past, rushing through mornings, scrolling his phone, eyes tired, cut back to the present. Stillness, sunlight, a deep breath. It was about presence, about pausing, long enough to hear his own voice before the noise of the world took over. Close up, sunlight reflected in Alex's eyes. He smiles gently, opens his journal, and writes, "Today, I choose presence." Camera slowly widens, the room glowing in golden light. Each morning, before the world tells you who to be, choose how you begin. Slow, symbolic montage, the rising sun, the brain lighting up, neurons glowing like constellations. The light spreads across the screen, gentle yet powerful. You don't need to change the world in one sunrise. Just begin with one mindful breath, one ray of light, one simple choice to be present. Alex looks out the window, peaceful, grounded, alive. The sunlight fills the frame until the scene fades to white. Text appears on screen. The morning you choose shapes the day you live. The morning you choose shapes the day you live. Alex steps outside as the sunrise paints the world in gold. He turns back, smiles softly, and waves at the camera. Calm, grateful, alive. Gentle, uplifting background music fades in. Try this for 7 days. No phone for the first 10 minutes. Just breathe, move, write, and fuel your brain. Quick montage, different people repeating the same mindful morning routine, stretching, sunlight, journaling, breakfast. Animated neurons begin to glow and connect, blending into the light of the rising sun. Watch what happens. Your mind grows clearer, your energy expands, and your life begins to change from within. Alex looks out toward the sunrise, peaceful, grounded. The light slowly transforms into a YouTube end screen with a subscribe button and text, "Rewire your mind one morning at a time." If this video helped you, subscribe for more stories that rewire your brain, one habit at a time.